Okay, so I need to tell you about something that happened 3 months ago here in Chicago. And I'm only talking about it now because the trial just ended and I'm finally allowed to. I'm Sarah. I've been an ER nurse for 7 years at St. Michael's Medical Center on the South Side. And if you've ever wondered whether the crazy stuff you see on Grey's Anatomy or ER actually happens in real American hospitals, buckle up, because this is going to sound insane, but I swear on everything, this is real. This happened right here in the US in a major hospital with board-certified doctors who passed all the same tests and licensing requirements as every other physician in this country. So, it's a Friday night in Chicago. Obviously, the ER is a complete madhouse. Gunshot wounds from the west side, a multi-car pileup on the Dan Ryan, drunk Cubs fans who thought jumping off a bar table was a good idea. You know, typical Friday in a level 1 trauma center. We've got the usual chaos, a guy who very clearly sat on something but keeps saying he fell, and this sweet elderly lady from Pilsen who keeps insisting her cat told her to come to the hospital. Plot twist, the cat was actually right. She had a pulmonary embolism. But that's not the story I'm telling you today. I'm working with my best friend, Marcus. Marcus is this tall, funny black guy from the South Side who somehow makes even the worst shifts bearable. Like, we had a Code Brown situation last week, if you know, you know, and he still managed to make me laugh while we were cleaning up. He's been nursing for about as long as I have, and honestly, he's the only reason I didn't quit after my first year. Anyway, we're at the nurses' station, charting in Epic, our electronic health record system, for those of you not in healthcare. And I'm trying to figure out which patient to triage next when the automatic doors slide open. And in walks this woman. She's maybe 26, 27, wearing a full business suit, like blazer, pencil skirt, heels, hair done, makeup perfect. She walks up to the registration desk like she's checking into a hotel. Very calmly, she says, "I need to see a doctor. I've been stabbed." Marcus and I both freeze because there's no blood. She's not crying, not panicking, just standing there waiting to be checked in. The registration clerk, bless her, she's new, just stares. So I jump in. "Ma'am, you said you were stabbed?" "Yes." "When?" "About 45 minutes ago." And then she lifts her blazer, and there it is. This 4-inch stab wound right below her ribs, and she's just holding her jacket over it, like it's a paper cut. Marcus grabs a wheelchair. I'm already calling for a trauma bay and paging on the call surgeon, and the whole time, this woman is apologizing for not calling 911 first because she didn't want to waste ambulance resources. Only in America, right? Stabbed and worried about the ambulance bill. If you've ever wondered what kind of crazy walks into an ER on a Friday night, hit that subscribe button because this story gets so much worse. Or better, depending on how you look at it. So, we get her into Trauma Bay 2, which, side note, is in this hallway that all the nurses hate because weird stuff always happens down there. Every hospital has that one hallway, right? Ours is the old wing from the 1970s that they keep saying they'll renovate, but never do. Fluorescent lights that flicker, that weird hospital smell that's stronger there than anywhere else. I don't believe in haunted hospitals, but that hallway? Something's off about it. We cut open her blazer, her shirt, and the wound is clean. Too clean. Like whoever did this knew exactly what they were doing. Deep enough to hurt like hell and need stitches, but it missed everything vital. Liver, intestines, major blood vessels, all untouched. Dr. Reeves, she's our attending, been here forever, trained at Johns Hopkins, doesn't take crap from anyone. She's examining the wound, and I can see her face change. "This is surgical precision," she mutters. And the patient? She's just lying there, answering questions in this flat, emotionless voice. "What's your name?" "Jennifer Chen." "Who did this to you?" "I'm not sure yet." Not I don't know, not I didn't see it. Not sure yet. Marcus catches my eye. We're both thinking the same thing. Something is very, very wrong here. Dr. Reeves orders a CT scan, starts IV fluids, the whole protocol. But I can't stop watching Jennifer's face. She's not in shock. She's not disassociating. She's waiting for something. So I lean in while I'm setting up her IV and I say quietly, "Are you in danger right now? Is someone looking for you?" And for the first time, her mask cracks, just for a second. Her eyes get wide and she whispers, "Not yet, but he will be." And that's when my phone buzzes. Text from security downstairs. A gigitated male in the waiting room asking about stabbing victim says he's her husband. Should we let him up? I look at Jennifer. Her jaw is clenched so tight I can see the muscles working. I text back, "No, keep him downstairs." So here's where it stops being a normal stabbing case and starts being, I don't even know what to call it. Dr. Reeves comes back with the CT results. Jennifer's stable. The wound really didn't hit anything critical. But Dr. Reeves pulls me and Marcus aside, and she's got this look on her face. That wound was made by someone with extensive anatomical knowledge, she says. Whoever stabbed her knew exactly where to cut to cause maximum pain without killing her. A warning, Marcus says. Or a demonstration, Dr. Reeves replies. We all look back at Jennifer through the window. She's sitting up now, watching the door. And that's when she drops the bomb. His name is Dr. Richard Chen, she says, loud enough for us to hear through the glass. He's a cardiothoracic surgeon at Northwestern Memorial across town. He's my husband, and I have proof he's been killing his patients. Northwestern Memorial. That's one of the top hospitals in the country. U.S. News and World Report ranks them in the top 10 every year. And we're talking about a surgeon there systematically murdering patients. If you think that's intense, you have no idea. Comment below if you've ever suspected something wasn't right with a patient's story, because what happened next? The next hour was the longest 60 minutes of my entire career, and I'm including the time we had 5 gunshot victims come in at once. So, Jennifer, Dr. Jennifer Chen, it turns out she's an anesthesiologist, also trained at Northwestern, reaches into her bra and pulls out a USB drive. I'm not kidding. Full spy movie moment. She says, everything's on here. Patient files, medication logs, surgical records, 3 years of evidence, all HIPAA-compliant documentation that I had legal access to as her wife and as a physician with consulting privileges at Northwestern Memorial. 2 detectives show up, Chicago, PD, Special Victims Unit. Hospital administration is freaking out because this is about to become a massive liability issue. Dr. Reeves is reviewing the files on her laptop and her face just gets paler and paler. She finally says, potassium. He's been injecting extra potassium chloride during surgeries, KCL. It causes cardiac arrest, but in the middle of a complicated cardiac surgery with a patient already under anesthesia, it looks like complications. The patient just didn't make it through the procedure. Jennifer nuts. 27 patients over 3 years, all high-risk cardiac cases, all listed as died during surgery from pre-existing conditions. All with families who trusted one of Chicago's top cardiothoracic surgeons to save their loved ones. Marcus sits down hard in a chair. 27 people. 27 families. That we know of, Jennifer adds quietly. Those are just the ones I could definitively prove. There might be more. And then security calls. Dr. Richard Chen somehow got past the waiting room, showed his ID, said he was a consulting physician. He's in the stairwell, heading up to our floor. The detectives move to intercept. One is calling for backup. The other positions himself outside the trauma bay. And I'm standing there thinking, I'm a nurse. I signed up to save lives, not to be in the middle of some Criminal Minds episode. But here's the thing about nursing. When someone needs protecting, you just do it. So I step between Jennifer's bed and the door, which is probably the stupidest thing I've ever done. Marcus grabs my arm. Sarah, what do you... The door slams open. Dr. Richard Chen is not what I expected. He's handsome, like TV doctor handsome. Tall, well-dressed, wearing scrubs from Northwestern with his MD credentials embroidered on them. This warm smile that probably makes patients trust him instantly. Probably makes millions in a year. Perfect credit score. Golf club membership. The whole American dream package. Except right now, he's absolutely furious. Jennifer, he says, completely ignoring the rest of us. What have you done? What you couldn't, she replies. Her voice is steady. I finished it. He takes a step forward. Detective Morrison moves to intercept, but Dr. Chen isn't looking at him. He's staring at his wife. You're going to destroy everything, he says. My career, my reputation, both our lives. You destroyed 27 lives, Richard, Jennifer says. 27 people who trusted you to save them. And then he smiles. Actually smiles. 27, he says. Jennifer, honey, you stopped counting way too early. The detective gets him in handcuffs while he's literally monologuing like a movie villain. Turns out, Dr. Chen had been improving his success rates by eliminating patients he deemed unlikely to survive anyway, making it look like surgical complications. 27 confirmed, but he's implying there were more. Jennifer had figured it out 6 months ago, spent all that time documenting, gathering evidence, living with a man she knew was a murderer. Tonight was supposed to be the night she went to the FBI with everything, but he found out. The stab wound was his warning. I know what you're doing, and I can end you anytime I want, but I'm giving you a chance to forget everything you've seen. She came to the ER instead. So, that's hour 1. Dr. Richard Chen arrested, Jennifer stable, FBI taking over the case. You'd think that's the end of the story, right? Yeah, me too. But while everyone was focused on Dr. Chen's arrest, I noticed something on that USB drive. Something that made me realize this wasn't over. There was another name on those medication orders. Someone who works at MY Hospital. And that's when I made the worst decision of my life. I decided to investigate. Subscribe if you want to hear what happened next, because I almost got myself killed. And I'm not being dramatic. I literally almost died. Oh, and one more thing. That sweet elderly lady whose cat told her to come to the hospital, she sent us a thank you card with a picture of the cat. His name is Dr. Whiskers. Even in the middle of all this insanity, that made me smile. If you're already hooked, hit that like button and comment below. Have you ever had a gut feeling about someone that turned out to be right? Because mine almost cost me everything. It's 2 a.m. now. The ER has finally calmed down. Jennifer's been moved to a secure room with CPD protection outside her door. The FBI has seized all the evidence and started their investigation. But I can't stop thinking about what I saw. So, here's the thing about being a nurse. We notice patterns. It's literally our job. Patient's blood pressure trending up, we notice. Medication timing off, we notice. Someone's handwriting on a chart that shouldn't be there, we definitely notice. And on that USB drive, while Dr. Reeves was reviewing Jennifer's evidence, I saw medication orders that weren't signed by Dr. Chen. They were signed by Dr. Patricia Walsh. If you work in healthcare, you just went, oh no. If you don't, let me explain. Dr. Patricia Walsh is the chief of anesthesiology at St. Michael's, my hospital. She's been here for 5 years. Before that, she was at Mayo Clinic. She published research in JAMA. She trained me when I first started. She's the person who writes recommendation letters and volunteers for extra shifts during holidays so nurses with kids can be home with their families. Everyone loves Dr. Walsh. She's got a 5-star rating on health grades. Patients request her specifically. So naturally, I do the smart thing and keep my mouth shut, right? Let the FBI handle it. Yeah, no, I told Marcus. We're in the break room, this exact room actually, and I'm showing him the photos I took of the USB drive before the FBI confiscated it. Yes, I know that was illegal. Yes, I know that was stupid. But something in my gut was screaming at me. Look at these dates, I tell Marcus. These medication orders were placed when Dr. Chen wasn't even at his hospital. He was at a conference in Seattle. Marcus looks at the screen, then at me, back at the screen. Sarah, are you saying Dr. Walsh was... I'm saying we need to check something. So at 3:15 in the morning, Marcus and I are doing something that could absolutely get us fired and possibly arrested. We're in the medication room, pulling up dispensary logs from our Pyxis system. That's the automated medication cabinet that tracks every drug that gets pulled. Every medication in a U.S. hospital is tracked. DEA requirements, Joint Commission standards, the whole 9 yards. There's a digital record of who took what and when. And we're scrolling through Dr. Walsh's records going back 2 years. This is insane, Marcus whispers. If we're wrong, we lose our jobs. If we're right, then patients are dying and no one's noticing, I finish. And there it is. Dr. Patricia Walsh pulling extra potassium chloride on nights when surgical patients had complications for the past 18 months. But here's the part that makes me feel sick. It's not just Dr. Chen's hospital where patients died. It's ours too. Check our hospital's surgical death rates, I tell Marcus. He pulls up the statistics. We both stare at the screen. There's a spike, small enough that you could dismiss it as we handle high-risk patients or statistical variation. But it's there, and every single spike matches a night when Dr. Walsh was on call. We have to tell someone, Marcus says. Tell them what, I ask? That we illegally accessed medical records because we have a hunch? Sarah, if you're right, she's killing people. And if I'm wrong, we just destroyed the career of someone who's been nothing but kind to us. And that's when the door opens. Dr. Patricia Walsh walks in. I've never felt fear like that. Real, primal, like this might be how I die fear. She's smiling. That same warm, motherly smile she always has. But her eyes drop to my phone screen, to the records we've pulled up. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Marcus, she says, still smiling. Working late? She steps inside, closes the door behind her. The room is maybe 10 feet by 10 feet. There's one door. She's standing in front of it. Marcus moves closer to me. I can feel him shaking, or maybe that's me shaking. Hard to tell. Dr. Walsh, I start, trying to keep my voice steady. You were just looking at medication dispensary logs, she interrupts, still smiling. Specifically my medication dispensary logs. You're both very smart. Too smart, maybe. We weren't, Marcus tries. Don't, she says quietly. Don't insult my intelligence by lying. You saw the patterns, you put it together. Richard was always sloppy. I told him he'd get caught eventually. She says it so casually, like she's talking about someone who left dirty dishes in the break room. Dr. Walsh, I say carefully. If something's going on, we can help. We can figure this out together. She laughs. Actually laughs. Figure what out, Sarah? That I've been doing needs to be done? That I've been making the hard choices that everyone else is too squeamish to make? And that's when I realized she's not denying it. She's defending it. You're both young, Dr. Walsh says. You still think every life can be saved, that every code should be run until there's nothing left to try. But the American healthcare system doesn't work that way. She takes a step closer. I've been doing this for 30 years. I know which patients are going to make it and which ones are just bankrupting their families while prolonging the inevitable. $10,000 a day for ICU care, hundreds of thousands in surgical costs for what? 2 more weeks of suffering? That's not your decision to make, I say. Then whose decision is it? The family that can't let go because they feel guilty? The insurance company that'll deny coverage anyway? Medicare that's running out of money? The patient who's too sick to understand what's happening? Yes, Marcus says, voice shaking but firm. Yes, any of them. All of them, but not you. You don't get to play God. I don't play God, she says coldly. I clean up his mistakes. So what happens now, I ask. We've seen what we've seen. You know we've seen it. What are you going to do? She studies us for a long moment. I'm going to give you the same choice I gave Richard when he started asking questions years ago. You can forget what you saw. Go back to your regular jobs. Be good little nurses who don't ask uncomfortable questions. Or, Marcus asks. She smiles again. Or you'll have a very unfortunate accident. Needle stick injury, wrong medication drawn up. These things happen in hospitals, you know? And this is the moment where I do something that's either incredibly brave or incredibly stupid. I hold up my phone. You've been recording for the past 6 minutes, I tell her, and it's uploading to cloud storage in real time. Her face goes white. Security is still in the building. The FBI agent who arrested Dr. Chen is still here processing evidence. And if Marcus and I don't walk out of this room in the next 30 seconds, his phone, which has also been recording, will automatically send everything to them. Total bluff, but she doesn't know that. For about 10 seconds, nobody moves, nobody breathes. Then Dr. Walsh's shoulders slump. I was saving lives. I was helping people. You were killing them, Marcus says, quietly. She looks at us, really looks at us. And for the first time, she looks old, tired. You don't understand. You can't understand. Not yet. Then help us understand, I say. Explain it to the FBI. Tell them why. She laughs again, but there's no humor in it. Because the system is broken, she says. Because we're asked to save everyone, but given resources to save no one. Because someone has to make the hard choices. By murdering people, Marcus says. By ending suffering, she corrects. Dr. Walsh was arrested at 4:17 a.m. by the FBI. The investigation found evidence linking her to 14 deaths at St. Michael's over 2 years. 14 patients who coded during or right after surgery. 14 families on the south side, in Pilsen and Bridgeport, working-class families who trusted our hospital, who maybe couldn't afford to go to Northwestern or Rush, who came to us because they were their neighborhood hospital. All of them high-risk patients, easy to explain away. Complications from pre-existing conditions. Did everything we could. Sometimes these things happen. Turns out she and Dr. Chen met at an American Medical Association conference in San Diego 3 years ago. Got to talking about healthcare ethics, resource allocation, quality of life metrics, the broken U.S. healthcare system. Found out they had the same twisted philosophy. They'd been working together ever since, comparing notes, sharing techniques. Jennifer's USB drive had evidence on both of them. But while everyone was focused on Dr. Chen, Dr. Walsh almost slipped through. Marcus and I were suspended pending investigation for accessing medical records without authorization. We were reinstated 3 days later when the hospital lawyers realized we'd stopped a serial killer, and that firing us would be a PR nightmare. But you know what the worst part is? For weeks afterward, every time a patient coded, I wondered if it was real or if we'd missed someone. Every time a surgery didn't go as planned, I questioned whether it was actual complications or something else. Dr. Walsh was right about one thing. I was young. I did think every life could be saved. Now I know better. Now I know that the scariest thing in a hospital isn't the diseases or the injuries. It's the people who think they know better than everyone else who gets to live and who gets to die. If you're still watching, thank you. And trust your instincts. Question patterns that don't make sense. And if you're a patient or have loved ones who are patients, ask questions. Be involved in your care. Because 99.9% of healthcare workers are amazing people who genuinely want to help you. But that 0.1%, they're out there. I am going to tell you what happened to Jennifer and how all of this changed the way I practice nursing. It's less intense, more reflective, about healing after trauma and learning to trust again. Like this video if you've made it this far. Comment below with your thoughts. I actually read every comment. And subscribe, because I've got more stories to tell. Real stories. From real shifts. By a nurse who's seen way too much, but still shows up every day because someone has to. We've covered the serial killer surgeon from Northwestern and his accomplice from St. Michael's. We've covered the 3 a.m. confrontation in the medication room. We've covered arrests and FBI investigations. Now let's talk about what comes after. It's been 3 months since that night. 3 months since I became that nurse who uncovered the hospital killers. My face was on WGN News. The Tribune did a feature story. I got calls from Good Morning America. And you know what no one tells you? What happens next is almost harder than what happened that night. Let me paint you a picture. First week back at work after everything went down, I'm in the middle of a code blue. Patients in cardiac arrest. Team's doing compressions, someone's bagging him, someone else is drawing up meds, and I'm standing there, watching Dr. Reeves prepare the epinephrine, and my brain goes, what if she's next? What if there's another one? I had to step out of the room, told them I felt sick, spent 15 minutes in the bathroom having a panic attack. This is Dr. Reeves we're talking about, the woman who mentored me, who backed me up during the investigation, who testified at the trial. And I still couldn't trust her to give medication without me double-checking the vial over her shoulder. Second week, Marcus and I are having lunch in the cafeteria. Just trying to have one normal day, you know? Eating terrible hospital food and complaining about the new charting system. A new surgical attending walks by, young guy, maybe 35, just making his rounds, introducing himself to staff. He stops at her table. Hey, you're Sarah and Marcus, right? I've heard about you two. That was incredible work you did. He's being nice, genuinely nice. Marcus's hand starts shaking so badly he drops his fork. We both had to leave, ended up in the chapel. Neither of us is religious, but it's the only quiet place in the hospital. And we just sat there crying for 20 minutes. That's when it hit me. I have PTSD. Like actual clinical PTSD. From my job. From the place I go to help people. How messed up is that? I started seeing a therapist. The hospital offered to pay for it through our EAP, Employee Assistance Program. I think their lawyers advised them to, honestly, but whatever. Healthcare in America is expensive, and I wasn't going to turn down free mental health services. Her name is Dr. Chen. Yeah, different Chen, no relation. Vietnamese American, grew up in California, but the first time I saw her name on the ZocDoc appointment, I almost canceled. She's been helpful, though. Taught me about secondary trauma, That's what they call it when you're traumatized by something that happened to someone else. Jennifer's trauma became my trauma. The victim's trauma became my trauma. And she explained something that actually made me feel less crazy. She told me, "You work in a profession built on trust. Patient trusts nurse, nurse trusts doctor, doctor trusts the system. When that trust is violated at such a fundamental level, it doesn't just break your faith in one person, it breaks your faith in the entire structure." That's exactly how it felt. Like the whole foundation of what I believed about healthcare had cracked. But here's the thing about cracks. Sometimes they let the light in. About a month after everything happened, I got asked to join the hospital's safety committee. Usually it's all doctors and administrators, maybe a token nurse or two to check boxes for Joint Commissioned accreditation. We take notes, we nod, we implement whatever policies they decide on. But this time was different. They asked me and Marcus to join as full voting members, with actual authority. CMS had come down hard on St. Michael's after the investigation, and suddenly hospital administration cared a lot about nursing input. First meeting, I'm sitting at this big conference table with department heads and executives. And I'm thinking, what am I even doing here? I'm just a nurse making $75,000 a year, sitting with people who make triple that. But then Marcus elbows me and whispers, "You saved 14 lives. Act like it." So I did. I proposed mandatory cross-checking for all high-risk medications. 2 people have to verify before administration, not just the person giving it. I proposed pattern analysis software that flags unusual medication pulls or patient outcomes by provider. I proposed anonymous reporting systems where anyone, janitor to surgeon, can report concerns without fear of retaliation. Guess what? They implemented all of it. Not everyone was happy about it. Some of the older doctors felt like we were accusing them of being potential murderers. Some administrators worried about the cost. But you know what? I don't care. Because here's what I learned from that night. Healthcare isn't about blind trust. It's about vigilance. It's about every single person in the system, from the person who cleans the floors to the person who does the surgery, feeling empowered to say, "Wait, something's wrong here." Dr. Walsh and Dr. Chen got away with it for years because people noticed small things but didn't speak up. A medication that seemed off, a death that seemed suspicious, but everyone figured someone else would catch it. Everyone assumed the doctors knew what they were doing. No more. Now when I see something weird, I ask about it. Out loud. In front of everyone. Yes, sometimes I'm wrong. Yes, sometimes it's awkward. Yes, sometimes doctors get annoyed with me. But sometimes I'm right. Last month, I caught a medication error before it reached the patient. Wrong dosage of heparin would have caused massive bleeding. Pharmacy tech made an honest mistake, doctor didn't catch it, but I did. Patient never knew how close they came. And that's the job now. Not just treating patients, protecting them. I got this about 2 weeks ago. No return address, just a postmark from somewhere in Florida. Tampa, maybe? The postmark was smudged. Dear Sarah and Marcus, I saw the news about the trial on CNN. I saw that both of you testified. I saw that both of them got life sentences without parole in federal prison. Thank you. Thank you for finishing what I started. Thank you for being brave when I couldn't be. Thank you for making sure no one else has to do what I did, live with a monster, and smile every morning like nothing's wrong. I'm safe now. New name, new city, new life. The FBI Witness Protection Program set me up after I testified. I'm working as an anesthesiologist at a small community hospital here. Different specialty, pediatrics now. Kids only, it's lighter. I still have nightmares. I still flinch when someone comes up behind me. I still check locks 3 times before bed. My therapist says I have complex PTSD. The VA hospital here has been helping. I qualified for their services because Richard was threatening a federal witness. But I'm alive, and because of you, other people are alive too. Keep questioning, keep watching. Keep being the kind of nurse who notices when something is wrong. The American healthcare system needs more of you. JC. I pin this above my locker at work. Because on the bad days, and there are still bad days, I need to remember why I'm doing this. People ask me all the time now, are you going to quit? Are you going to switch careers? How can you still work there after what happened? And honestly, I thought about it. I had my resignation letter written, had it saved on my laptop, had a whole plan to go back to school for something completely different. But then I thought about Jennifer, spending 6 months gathering evidence while living with a man who could kill her at any moment. I thought about the 14 patients at our hospital who died because no one questioned the pattern. I thought about the kid with carbon monoxide poisoning from way back when. Different story, different night, but the same principle. Sometimes you're the only one who sees what's really happening. So, yeah, I still work here. Still do night shifts. Still walk down that hallway where everything started. My student loans aren't going to pay themselves, and nursing jobs in Chicago that pay this well aren't easy to find. But now I walk down it differently. Now I'm not just a nurse who takes care of patients. I'm a nurse who protects them. If you work in healthcare, I'm begging you, trust your instincts. If something feels wrong, say something. I don't care if it's awkward. I don't care if you're wrong. Better to be wrong and embarrassed than right and silent. And if you're a patient or you have loved ones who are patients, ask questions. Be involved. Request second opinions. You're not being difficult, you're being smart. Because here's the truth that no one wants to say out loud. The system only works if everyone is watching everyone else. Not with suspicion, but with care. I'm going to tell you about some of the positive changes that have happened since all this went down, and about the elderly lady with the psychic cat. I promised you I'd circle back to that. Subscribe if you haven't already, like if you've made it this far, comment your thoughts. I seriously read every single one. And thank you for listening. Sometimes you just need to tell the story to make sense of it, you know? I wanted to end on something hopeful, because despite everything, despite the betrayal and the trauma and the nightmares and the media circus, I still believe in this job. I still believe in American healthcare workers, even if I don't always believe in the American healthcare system. Let me tell you why. So, remember that elderly lady I mentioned? The one whose cat supposedly told her to come to the ER. Her name is Margaret Kowalski. She's 83. Polish immigrant, came to Chicago in the 1960s, lives alone in the little house in Pilsen with her cat, Dr. Whiskers. Yes, the cat's name is actually Dr. Whiskers. She says he earned his doctorate by diagnosing her pulmonary embolism, and he's smarter than half the doctors at Northwestern. I visited her last week, took the red line down to her neighborhood. She's doing great, by the way, fully recovered. Medicare covered most for treatment, and we helped her navigate the billing for the rest. We're sitting in her living room, and Dr. Whiskers is on my lap, purring, and Margaret says, "You know, dear, that cat saved my life twice." Twice, I ask. Once by making me come to the hospital that night, and once by giving me a reason to survive. She tells me that after her husband died 5 years ago, she'd been thinking about just, giving up. Not actively suicidal, but not really trying to live either. But Dr. Whiskers needed her, so she stayed. And that night, when she felt the chest pain and the shortness of breath, Dr. Whiskers wouldn't stop meowing, wouldn't let her ignore it, literally pawed at her until she got in the car and drove to the ER. Animals know. They know when something is wrong. People do too, she adds.